EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is partially sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and Luxury Homes of the TreasureCoast.com. So Libby works with seniors and their families, helping them to make decisions. There's lots of services that she offers, like downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, estate sales, and more. For a free consultation, give Libby a call, 772-783-2800, or visit SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and Luxury Homes of the TreasureCoast.com. All right, so for people in their 60s and beyond, this is an exciting time in their life. There's lots of choices that they can make, and there's so many, they have free time on their hands. But sometimes when you're making a decision about your next steps, especially about where you want to live, those options can sometimes seem overwhelming or complicated. Well, joining me in the studio today is Lilliana Velez-Lefringhouse, and she is the owner of CarePatrol of the Treasure Coast, and she works with seniors to help them navigate those options, helping them make decisions for their life now and even down the road in the future. We have lots to talk about, so welcome to the show, Lilliana.
Much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you here because we're in Florida. It's no surprise that we have lots of seniors, right?
Me too.
So before we start talking about them and how you help, just give us a little background about who you are and why you wanted to work in this industry with seniors.
So for me, this work is very personal. I always have helped people. I enjoy helping people. I always help. I volunteer. I donate. So when I got into it and I researched it and I realized the need, because when you think about it, a lot of people don't know. They don't know. Most people think assisted living, even independent living, is a nursing home, right? Because that's what it used to be.
I know, and we're going to dive into those differences. And
so I realized that we needed someone to educate people, show them the options, and help them through everything, navigate through the whole process.
Yeah, I love that. And so you and I have an understanding about seniors, and Cindy as well, the show producer. When my mother was getting older and she had rheumatoid arthritis, there were so many times that we needed help. We didn't know where to go. It was only after she passed that I learned about companies like yours, and I learned about the Senior Resource Association. Oh my goodness.
That happens a lot.
And so not only, and we're going to get into this, but not only do you help people with their living options, but when other questions come up, you are an overall resource. You have agencies that you know about to send people to.
I build those relationships. So I have that if someone needs a realtor, a mover, a cleaner, a lawyer.
Yeah.
Sometimes even a doctor, because a lot of seniors, they don't have doctors. They don't see a doctor. So all that, we build that contact.
I know. It's so scary. Okay. So now a lot of people, and this is a perfect segue. A lot of seniors don't know their options, and then all of a sudden something happens, okay? And these independent and assisted living communities, they really do some of them feel like vacation spots. It's amazing. Okay, so what are some of the biggest mistakes or misconceptions that people have when it comes to this?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that they think all of them are alike. They're all the same. And no, they're all different. They all meet different needs. So that's why with our company, we get to know you, right? We get to know what your needs are, the care you need, the things you like, and what you can afford. Because sometimes people make the mistake of just picking the first place. And guess what? That's going to be either you're spending money in the wrong place. So with us, you have that information. And we don't just show you one place. We help you find other places.
Yeah, so basically you're sitting down with people and you're really getting to know them,
Listening.
what they're doing now in life, what their hobbies are, what their social structure is like. Some people are very introverted. You know, my mother lived in a 55 and older community that had all of these clubs and
She never
activities.
did anything.
She didn't want to do any of that. She made friends with all of her neighbors, and they had a rotating coffee club
Yeah.
at different
Yes,
houses. It
yes.
was hilarious.
So you think about that, you're paying for that because a lot of the community you're paying for all those and you're not using any of it. So sometimes a smaller place
Yeah.
is better. So that's what we do. We do our best to get to know you and see what the needs are and what it is that you really like.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot. So now for people that are not familiar with CarePatrol, let's go into CarePatrol. I love that name,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you.
And so explain CarePatrol, what your process is like.
So CarePatrol, we are a senior advisory agency. We help people find assisted living, independent living, memory care, home care. So that's what we do. It's a free service, which is it surprises a lot of people. We get paid from when we actually do a move-in.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yes.
So the communities will pay you.
You will pay me. Yeah, we do contracts with the community.
Yeah, I like that a lot because really then oh, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. But the people themselves, like you are, they understand that you're really working for them.
Yes.
That you're not trying to fit them in a particular place. Yes. So that's a big comfort. So let me ask you another question, because you mentioned care at home. Right. So then somebody might say to themselves, I'd like to stay at home for a little while longer. Yes. So you're actually staying in touch with people and working with them through their aging process.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we're a franchise, so they're giving us like this training. There's called Aligned Care. And it's value based, which is through Medicaid. And I think I heard somebody that was talking about it with Guy and all that. That when you did a previous interview, so they're training us to not just go and move somebody in and that's it. We go and follow up a week later, 3 weeks later, a month, and now we're going up to a year. So we're going to stay in contact with the community where they moved in, the family member or their senior, just to see that everything's okay. Because sometimes we find out, they left. Why? So we will try to help them fix whatever those problems are.
Yeah. So basically, you are building relationships. And you mentioned that before with the other agencies. So you're building relationships with that person or couple that's looking to move, as well as the adult children. Yes. Because a lot of times they're vested in making sure, like I did, I moved to this area for my mom.
Yes. And also CarePatrol, we've been around for 30 years. It was a case worker who started this company because what he did is he went to, at that time it's more nursing home, he went to a nursing home and he met a lady that didn't belong there. There was no reason why she was there, but the family, that was the first place they picked, and he helped her move out to an assisted living. And we are all over the United States. There's like over 260 of us.
So that's a really good thing. And that is interesting, too, because you could have someone that is super happy in an independent living facility here in Florida, but they might have family up north. And then as an illness progresses, like I've had some family members, I have a girlfriend with Parkinson's and I have a couple of family members with MS. Okay.
Yeah.
So they might be perfectly happy, comfortable, but 5 years down the road, they might actually need more help. But then they say, I want to be back home with my family now. So you can help them like that too.
We can help them like that, yes.
Oh gosh, I love that so much.
Thank you.
I'm just taking a quick look at the time, but so and I was talking about the senior population, and we are growing. Seniors are just loving Florida. I love Florida. I'm not quite a senior yet, but Cindy, I qualify for an AARP card.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think there's a lot of benefits to that. But now, what advice would you have for seniors and their family? Because you know what? We all hope and pray and wish that a crisis doesn't happen. But sometimes you want to think about the worst case scenario and the what if such a thing were to happen, because I'm going to have somebody come on about, with hurricanes and stuff. I don't want anything happening to my house, but you have to think about, well, if something did happen, what are my next steps? So what advice do you have for seniors and their families to think about an all of a sudden crisis?
I think not to wait to the last minute, right? Have a talk about the future.
Yeah.
Go do tours, even if you're not ready to move in, so you have an idea what the options are. So I say talk about the wishes, what the care needs are, the healthcare directive. So you want to have someone to be your power of attorney.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, if you wait too long and the person has dementia, now they cannot sign anything, and you have to do it like through the court. So it's a lot more. So I think it's just not, and also taking care of yourself. Like taking care of yourself, seeing the doctor, taking the medication, exercising, not staying in a house by yourself because then now you become depressed.
Yeah.
So I think asking for help. And I wish there was something we can do to do wellness checks on seniors. I would like to start something like that so we can go and check and see, do you need anything? And I know no one wants to leave their home, right? No one, but you have to sometimes be honest and say, I need help.
Yeah. And we were talking about nursing homes, and there is a place for them. They are needed.
Yes, there is.
But you know what I think is good is for the seniors and the families themselves. It's almost like you're helping them be Goldilocks and the Three Bears when they're figuring out living options, but taking them for tours of nursing homes so that they can understand what they are, the care that they provide, because maybe someday they may have to go there.
No, and you're correct. I mean, there's people that if you're bed bound or if you need like a Hoyer lift, there are certain things that you have to go to. That would be a nursing home who would do that because the other places are not licensed to do those things. So there is that. There is that need that a regular assisted living wouldn't be able to take care of them. So we need them, and a lot of them are rehabs, which is, good. So they're good.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And then when you mention like directives and making decisions, another girlfriend that I have that's in her mid 60s, she wasn't having any health problems, but she decided when she was retiring, she was envisioning her life in general, the fun things, but the, more serious side of things. One of her daughters, she actually did go through the whole power of attorney with. She got her will put together. She was explaining to her daughter, should this or that happen, this is what I want. So this is what you're talking about.
And my parents did that. Like, oh my God, it's incredible because they have it all. They have this is this, all that they did. I'm like, okay, I wish everybody would do that. But we find a lot of people don't get along with their family members, and that's a big problem. When something happens, now all the family members come out, and everybody's trying to make decisions. Yeah. So if you leave it all set up, then you're good.
Oh my goodness, Cindy's getting the take a break. A few moments ago, we were 9 minutes into the show. Now we're 13 minutes plus. So what we're going to do, Lilliana Velez-Lefringhouse of CarePatrol of the Treasure Coast, we have a lot more to discuss. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tired of pool chores draining your weekend? Deja Blue Pool Service provides the expert skimming and chemical balancing you need for a crystal clear paradise. For Vero's most reliable professional care, Google Deja Blue Pool Service. Keep it clean, keep it blue.
Are you becoming a realtor, contractor, mold remediator, guardian? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
At lunchtime, enjoy a southern home-cooked meal paired with the best sweet tea in town at Marsh Landing. You'll love our daily lunch specials like chicken and dumplings every Thursday, or one of our juicy half-pound burgers. Experience old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing in Fellsmere.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. I'm with Lilliana Velez-Lefringhouse of CarePatrol of the Treasure Coast. We're going to dive back into this conversation. Okay, so now you are working with assisted living, memory care, independent living, nursing homes, respite care, in-house. Oh my goodness. So you see, for me, there's like so many options, right? So now how do you, because the person that you're meeting with has one set of ideas, okay, that may not match exactly. So how do you help them come to terms with, like, for example, maybe somebody says, I want to be in a beautiful independent living community, and they really might need assisted living. So how do you help navigate that with people?
We show people that one size doesn't fit all, right? You have to look at, and that happens all the time. They're like, this is what I want. So we go and tour. We talk about it. So we talk about everything, and we go and tour and show them the options, which I always show them about 3 to 4 places.
Okay.
So they can see the difference. And I always pick different ones, like a smaller one, a medium one, and a bigger one, or one that has this, and that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because you're right. It's in your head, you're thinking, this is what I want, but that's not what you need.
And I think that your demeanor, that you are just so calm. You have this beautiful, tone of voice, and you have a very calm presence, that I think that actually helps you to show them. And sometimes when somebody thinks, well, I don't want assisted living, and you take them to a community that has both, and then they see that they have more freedom than they realized, even though it is assisted.
Sometimes you shock yourself, right? Because I never thought I would do well with this business, but I have. I learned to listen. I listen always. I ask questions. So when I'm like, even when someone's in the car, because sometimes they come with me with the tours, I just let them talk, because they're giving you all the answers as they talk.
Yeah.
This is what I really need, and this is what I really like. I mean, I dealt with real grumpy people that I thought, but then at the end they tell me, when am I going to see you again? I said, I'll come visit.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I love that. And a lot of times when I use the word cantankerous, like my mom, when she developed cancer, she went from being a positive person, sweet, funny, to being scared and angry.
And that's it. You're right there.
Yeah.
You're scared.
Yeah. And then when nurses came into the house for certain things, after certain operations and such, I saw my mom as she used to be, because when she realized that she could trust these people, she went from not being grumpy to,
Yeah, you're right. You build trust. And you let people tell you. You listen instead of telling them.
Yeah.
And that's why. So we used to be called a placement agency, but they changed into we are an advisory, because we want to advise you. You make the decisions, but we just come along with you and help you, advise you the correct way, if that's what it needs to be.
Well, I love that. So now let's talk about when someone makes that first phone call to you, whether it's the senior themselves or an adult child. So the phone call is made. What is the process like?
So it's a simple phone call, right? And then you start asking questions about everything. What is your mom, or what do you need? The care needs, what you like. how much can you afford? And normally I'm telling you those calls can go like 2 hours because people they're going through a lot. If it's the senior or if it's the family, this is shocking to them because most of the times it's because they fell, they're in the hospital, they're declining. So I just listen. I listen to everything. I do an assessment. So I ask medical questions, medication, everything. We fill all that out. And then we email them some choices. And once they pick, we set up tours and we go to the tours with them. So we don't let the communities call the client or the senior or the family. We're in the middle. We're the middleman.
Right.
Once you decide this is the place I want to move into, then you make contact with them. So you're not getting 200 phone calls.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Sometimes people will fill out a thing online
yes.
and then there's a barrage of phone calls.
You think you're filling online for the community, but you're not. You're doing it for a referral company, and then they put out your name out to everybody.
Yeah.
And then so now it's those communities' responsibility to get you in. With us is the other way. We bring you to them.
Yeah. And you even have on the financial side, you have worksheets.
Yes.
Because you want to make sure that the person can truly afford that.
That's another thing, right? So someone like community can call you and bring you. They just want to bring you in, and you go and you fall in love, and then you cannot afford that place.
Right. Or even worse, they bring you in, and then 3 years later,
you cannot afford it. Okay, now that I'm seeing that a lot lately. So people are calling. I only have this much money because they overspend. So instead of going to a medium-sized one, there wouldn't be that much money. Now they have to try to find one that they can afford or try to apply for Medicaid. And so.
Yeah. And so once it becomes a Medicaid situation, then the options are a lot more narrow.
A lot more narrow. Not that many places take the Medicaid.
Right. Okay. Yes. And that's why working with you is the best course of action, because what you're truly invested in is that person. You want to make sure that where they're going truly suits them. And then when we talked about if something else happens, then you can help them maybe move into another part of that same facility or helping them move to a different area.
Yes, because I could be like that and say, I'm just going to move them in wherever. And buy. No.
Yeah.
To me, that's wrong. I do everything the right way. So I might not make as much money, but I'm happy in my heart. I know that I did the right thing and the person's doing well.
Yeah, I love that a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, and the last thing, the emotional time, especially for people that we only have a minute left. Okay. So how do you ease the stress when a family member is dealing with an aging parent with dementia?
So that was like, listen, and I listen, and you help them out, realize that that's the correct decision, because there's a lot of fear and guilt.
Yeah.
And if it's the senior, right, they don't, and the husband or wife too, a lot of times we've been married for 40 years. I'm supposed to take care of them, but they are not doing well because they're the caretaker. Now they're burnt out. So it's kind of just, I think the biggest thing is listening. You listen, and then you just kind of show them that, look, this is what works, it's what doesn't work.
And you also have help for the caregivers.
Yes.
You have resources for the respite care. But you know what I forgot in the first half, because Cindy just put this up. So for the people that are watching, the phone number, though, for the iHeartRadio and podcasters that are listening, 772-485-9077 and LVELEZ at CarePatrol.com. And I want to read that phone number again, 772-485-9077. Cindy is making us stop talking in a few minutes, right?
Right.
Or no, a few seconds. So I want to say thank you very much
for having me.
Oh, we need you. We need this service very much. And then I just want to say for Libby Wiseman, 772-783-2800, seniortransitionnavigator.com, luxury homes of the treasurecoast.com. And thank you again for being here. And my name is Ellen Contreras. I'm the host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.